5.
I was pulling my suitcase, ready to head to the airport, when I was stopped by Carter as soon as I opened the door. At that moment, I knew this trip would have twists and turns again. I was naive, thinking that signing the divorce papers for the heroine would sever the connection with the hero, Carter. The plot is incredibly strong, and it can be reversed. According to the original novel, the heroine was locked up by Carter in this same house around now, but unexpectedly became pregnant. Then, the antagonist Lily suddenly suffered from kidney failure and needed a transplant. The ridiculous part was that none of Lily's relatives were a match, but only the heroine, who was unrelated to Lily, was a match. I knew with my gut what Carter wanted from me this time. Carter used the standard domineering CEO move, pushing me against the doorframe. If I hadn't known he was here for my kidney, I might have been a little moved. Well, just for a moment. Claire, how much do you want for your kidney? President Carter is indeed rich. He thinks money can solve any problem. But today I want him to know that not everything in the world can be solved with money. Carter lowered his head a few more degrees, our breaths mingling. Lily, when she was young, gave one of her kidneys to save me. This time, she doesn't have another healthy one to replace it with, you understand. What does that have to do with me? Claire. Carter glared at me, his eyes bloodshot. How can you be so cold-blooded? If you don't save Lily, she will die. Again, what does that have to do with me? I kicked the suitcase, hitting Carter's knee. He let go in pain. I pulled the suitcase down the stairs and turned to look at him. Why should I save someone who I think is two-faced, hypocritical, and has framed me multiple times, huh? If you, Mr. Vanderbilt, think you can buy my kidney now, you can go around the world and find someone willing to exchange a kidney for money. But I don't want to. The taxi I called just arrived. I opened the door and met Carter's bloodthirsty eyes, which seemed to want to gouge me out. I smiled at him and said, "Besides, I'm the one without a spare kidney to donate." I got in the taxi and looked through the glass to see Carter's stunned look, as if he'd been pranked. I immediately breathed a sigh of relief, feeling I'd gotten revenge for the heroine. Driver, to the airport.
6.
Although Carter delayed me, fortunately my flight was delayed due to weather, so I was able to rest at the airport. My cell phone rang. I took it out and saw the contact "Sweetheart" clearly displayed on the screen.
Huh.
I rubbed the goosebumps off my arm, hesitated for a few seconds, and finally decided to answer. Given the original owner's standard, meek heroine personality, this sweetheart had a 99% chance of being Carter, but what if? I chuckled, looking forward to some explosive gossip. Claire, what's your connection to the little girl from the fire 10 years ago? Hearing the familiar questioning voice, I immediately hung up. Okay, confirmed the heroine did not cheat. Less than 3 seconds later, Sweetheart called again. This time I hung up without hesitation, changed the contact name to Carter, Plague, and blocked the number. Finally quiet. Before I could put my phone away, an unknown number called, and I answered out of habit. Hello, who is this? Claire, if you dare block me again, I'll... Okay, I won't block you, but I can just turn off my phone. After hesitating for 0.01 seconds between turning off my phone and being harassed by Carter, I chose the former. I always feel bored without my phone, but luckily I got to watch Peppa Pig with the kid in the front row to kill time. Another episode ended, and the pink pigs all fell to the ground laughing. I checked the time. It was almost time to board. After refusing the assistance offered by the pretty flight attendant, I slowly dragged my suitcase to the gate. Claire. I vaguely heard the familiar life-threatening voice and turned around trembling. Thanks to the heroine's good eyesight, I saw Carter looking out past security. The second I saw him, he turned his head and met my eyes. Claire. I saw Carter say something to the security officer, and then the security officer actually let him
Cut the line. In.
I was so scared I ran. Race car tires probably can't roll faster than my suitcase wheels. Maybe because I watched Peppa Pig for too long, boarding was almost over. Thankfully, there were only a few people left at the gate. But no matter how anxious I was, I had to queue up obediently. Thankfully, the airport was big enough. I managed to get through when Carter was about 12 seconds away. Carter didn't have a boarding pass, and this time, he probably met a very stubborn gate agent who refused to let him through. Seizing this chance, I quickly ran off, dragging my small suitcase. Claire, just wait for me. I couldn't hear what was said after that.
Don't blame me.